When Arena finally came out, I quickly rose to the rank of top 500 with a 61% win rate entirely as a solo player. And in this video, I want to share all the knowledge I've learned from low rank to the highest to help anyone who would like to improve at the game. All I ask is when you do get to my rank, you go easy on me, alright? I'm very competitive and I hate losing. Okay, let's get into it. When you first start the game, before you get into ranked mode, my first piece of advice would be checking out which preset tree you'd like to progress down. The path I recommend you go down is simply whatever you want to use. If you are going to be grinding these trees for endless hours, it's a good idea to prioritize equipment you enjoy using. With that being said though, having played all the maps, there are some kits that perform better than others in certain situations. For example, a marksman kit that utilizes longer range weapons will be better on maps like Bull and Sawmill, where there's more open sightlines, and worse on maps like Equator and Bay 5, where the fighting is a lot more compact. What I wanted to grind for was the HK416 kit in the assault tree because I felt like the weapon can be used effectively at all ranges, and I just like the gun. I actually shot one in Las Vegas, which you can see in my IRL gun video. This meant, however, that I had to grind through a few shotgun classes at the start of my journey, and this was a major obstacle for me. I rarely use shotguns in Tarkov, and because I got access on the second day of release, I found myself going up against players with good armor and SMGs with AP ammo. If this happens to you, then don't sweat it. Currently, when you start playing Arena, you start at 1500 elo, and while I was grinding through the shotgun classes, I believe my elo dropped to about 1200 at one point, but honestly, I didn't mind. I was actually having a lot of fun in the chaos of playing Arena. At first, I just focused on learning the maps and good angles to peek from, because that will help you a lot more as you progress through the ranks. Things changed though when I got the shotgun class with AP20 slugs. This is a class I could confidently do damage with, and I went from a negative KD ratio to almost 2.0 while using it. It's the class you are actually seeing on screen right now that I'm about to get an ace with. The overall point here though is don't sweat the start when you're learning the game. You'll probably lose a lot of games and that's totally fine. You should be playing to improve anyway, not playing to win. And then by being better at the game, you'll win more games. You get what I'm saying. When I got my next kit, the G36, the game changed a lot. At this point, my rank was around 1900, 2000, when most players had tier 3 kits or greater, meaning better guns, ammo, and armor. When you get to this point in gear score, the game slows down a lot, and you see less people sprinting around like your average Call of Duty player. Taking damage in Tarkov is a lot more punishing than most shooters, and as players start to get better gear, you die a lot faster. This will be taken to the extreme when you reach endgame kits at high elo ranks especially. The early tiers in Arena are like the pistol round in Counter-Strike. There's more pushing and wackiness going on, but shit gets real when the AKs come out. This is when you have to think about using cover a lot more and practicing your peeks. Knowing how to properly peek alone will make you better than like 70% of players, because most people never really learned peeking, they just do it. When peeking, you only really want to shoot off a few rounds before getting back into cover. The main idea here is you don't want to give time for whoever you're shooting at to shoot back if you miss. There are times when you can commit to a wide swing or push, but 8 times out of 10 you want to be doing the first thing. You'll see me utilize this quick peek strategy a lot on air pit in the plane, which is a great place to practice peeking. If you can consistently rush plane and win duels around those central crates, then you probably know how to peek pretty well. Finally, when you have your endgame kits, which are usually heavily armored automatic AP round classes, your mistakes are way more obvious because usually they result in your swift demise. In a way though, that's a good thing, because if you want to do well in top tier, this setting will really force you to think of what moves you're making before you make them. I recently got into chess, and that's one major lesson I've learned. Basically, if you have time left on the clock, use it to look for the best move, and this round you're seeing is a great example of that. This here is a top 300 game where no enemies pushed on my side of the map, and I was quickly put into a 1v3 situation. I just saw my teammate die, so I rush in to trade the kill as soon as possible. Notice how once I kill him, his teammate tries to do the exact same thing to me. Trading a teammate is always the play if you have the opportunity to. Fortunately, I survived, and when they go for the flank on me here, I crouch still to avoid giving any audio cues, and I just hit a good shot while they're trying to pinpoint where I am. At this point, I still have time in the round, so I'm thinking here my best move is to get healed up because I don't know where the last guy is, and I don't want to fight on death's door if I can help it. As the round starts to end and the capture point unlocks, the higher the elo I got to, the more players seem to realize that capping the point in a clutch situation is impossible. There's no cover on the point, and the second you step onto it, you'll get peeked from one of 50 angles. It's sort of the problem with no defending or attacking sides. Both sides just sit there in a stalemate until one side tries to take the point. A large percentage of the time, no one goes for the point, and eventually the kill squad comes out and RNG hunts down one of the players. In this situation, my enemy goes for it, and you can see why it's such an easy kill for me here. I had the high ground. Obi-Wan would be so proud of me. A similar event happened the next round where I found myself in a 2v2 situation. After scoring the first kill here, my best move is again to run away from the fight in case his teammate comes over to trade me and heal somewhere. You'll notice even in a 2v1 situation, we aren't trying to cap the point right away because the person on the point is almost always a sacrifice. So we play it slow, and luckily for us, our enemy is peeking like a noob and he gets shot in the face. The overall theme here is don't just run at the point like some Starbucks girls running towards a Taylor Swift concert. You get notified when someone is on the point, so as long as you're close by, you can contest the point without actually being on it. Well folks, I stream Tarkov and Arena live here on YouTube, so if you have any more questions for me, I would love to see you there. I hope some of you at least found this video helpful, and I'll see you in the next one.